Hi everyone, my name is Deepika and I have been a verbal trainer for last 5 years and I have helped hundreds of students in getting their desired dream score in the verbal section. So today I am going to unwrap some of the secrets which I have given to my students so that they could get higher scores in their respective SAT verbals. One important aspect of getting a higher score is to avoid some mistakes which have been commonly made by the students. So today's video is all about that. Stay tuned till the end so that you could learn these secret recipes and apply in your test to elevate your score to the next level. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Mistake number 1. This mistake is very commonly made by the students, which is that they are not focusing on process of elimination. Process of elimination in short is also known as POE. This is a very crucial steps towards getting the correct answer. Most of the students are fixated in getting the correct answer that they totally avoid this step or maybe superficially doing it. They are doing this because they believe that they're able to save up some time, which will be quite helpful because they will be able to finish the test on time. Now the question arises, why we need to do the process of elimination? Now, the simple answer is that doing process of elimination increase your chances of getting the correct answer. So you are given 4 choices and out of that 3 are wrong answer and 1 is correct answer. So if you are not doing any elimination, you are just picking one out of them, your probability of getting that correct answer is 25%, right? However, if you are able to eliminate one wrong answer, your probability of getting the correct answer increases to 33%. Likewise, if you are successfully able to eliminate 2 incorrect answers, this probability jumps to 50%. So you can see step by step you are inching towards the correct answer and keep doing it consistently so that you could get the taste of success in your SAT verbal test. Moving on to the next mistake. So this mistake is also associated with the previous mistake which we just discussed. The difference is that in this mistake, the students are eliminating the choices, but they are not eliminating in a physical form. Rather, they are mentally eliminating it. What I am trying to say is that you have been given a piece of paper and a pencil to do the SAT test. You should feel free to write anywhere on the test paper because your marks are not going to be deducted in doing so. So that's why you're supposed to utilize that space and whatever information you have in your brain, just put it on the paper. Don't load all that information in your brain and have a lot of confusion. Rather than just mentally eliminating, you have to make visual indicator of elimination. What I mean to say by this, you have been given 4 choices, A, B, C, D. So let's say you're doing the elimination, you're mentally thinking, okay, A is out, B is out. You're left with C and D. Alright, you have to choose from these two. Now you're down to 2. Since you have mentally eliminated, you have forgotten that what choices formerly you have eliminated. You will go over and over again to the choices even though you have eliminated. So having a visual marker as in eliminating the choices A and B just gives you an idea that okay, these things have been really eliminated. Now you will be prevented from seeing those answer choices again. So ensure that going forward you are not doing the mental elimination, you are doing a visual elimination. Alright, let's talk about mistake number 3. Mistake pertains to the reading section. So you have been given 4 choices. In these 4 choices, only 1 is the correct answer, 3 are the wrong answers. The remaining 3 wrong answer choices have been fabricated with lot of dexterity by the college board because they are very good at creating trap answers. So if you are just reading in cursory skim, you will find that okay, these answers look very appealing and you will fall for them. So ensure that you're not matching the words and you are reading for a content. So rather than matching the words, you have to match the content or the context. Moving on to mistake number 4. This mistake is like committing a sin because this mistake involves mismanaging the time. So in the reading section you have been given 65 minutes and you have to do 52 questions. So if you become very stubborn about solving a certain question, despite that you're not able to solve it and you have no clue what the answer would be, you're continuously making efforts to solve it and you're not moving ahead, you have just become stagnant, then you have to really pay a very heavy price for it. The reason is that you are in a process of solving that question, but other questions which are easier or maybe you can do it quite easily, they will be left unattempted and your marks will be automatically pulled down. And of course you don't want to do that. So that's why what you have to do, you are not supposed to solve the question in a chronological manner. Okay, you're not supposed to do the question in the way it is presented to you. You have to choose your own order. So decide that okay, these questions I am finding easy, I'll do it first. So if you are able to solve most of the questions which you find easy, you will realize that you have solved a major chunk of the passage or major chunk of the section. Now you can move ahead to the other questions which give you a hard time. Whatever question you're finding it challenging, you will park them for later. Having this strategy in hand will help you to address the entire question paper effectively, and you will ultimately reap the benefit of doing a smart work. Moving on to mistake number 5, not attempting all the questions. Yes, it's not possible to solve every single question, but it's not impossible to attempt all the questions. The point is that even though you're not able to solve certain question, but you have to attempt them. Maybe you are making a guess, or you are making an educated guess to choose the answer, but mark the answer of all the questions present. You know, in SAT there is no negative marking, so who knows if it is going to be the correct answer to attempt even those questions which you have not been able to solve. Now another aspect comes here, which is that whether you should have a single letter which you will be choosing for all the questions which you are not able to solve, or you will randomly mark any of the choices, whether it's A, B, C or D. So I would suggest that rather than doing a random marking to the choices, to the questions which you are not able to solve, have a particular letter. Okay, we call it letter of the day, LOTD. So what you have to do is that, let's say 4 questions you were not able to solve in the entire exam, rather than marking one as A, another as B, third as C and the fourth as D, I insist that you have a particular letter on that day. Maybe it is B or C, whatever letter you have, whatever letter you have affiliation with, you can choose any of the letter, but ensure that all the answers you will be marking by using the same letter. Moving on to mistake is committed by the students because they feel overconfident. So there is a difference between being confident and overconfident. When the students feel that they are very good at English and they have excellent command over the English language and in both writing and speaking, so they don't need to do enough practice. You need to understand is that even the native speakers of the English makes mistake with the grammar. Yeah? They need to pay special attention to these things, that whatever happens in the spoken language does not necessarily happen in the written language. You should abide by the standard conventions of the English language. So that's why you need to know a bit of nuanced grammar. Ensure that before you go to the exam hall and you're supposed to brush up your grammatical concept, you should be knowing which kind of concepts are being tested on SAT and practice question associated with them. Rather, you should also know that how SAT creates error in those kind of questions. Knowing these things priorly will help you a lot. You cannot afford to make mistake. This is your big day, this is your D-day, and ensure that you are very ready on that day. So guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you like it. If you really like it and found it useful, ensure that you give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you remain updated with any new videos on our channel.